day everyone and welcome back to the coolest YouTube channel. My name is Khatabile Mule. It is the Prey Boy on the coolest YouTube channel where we unfold the unknown. And boy oh boy, a lot has quite happened since we last spoke. I mean the GNU, the Progressive Caucus, the MK, boy, they've really upset the status quo. And I think it's only fair before we start this episode as guys to say a very happy Women's Month to all the women out there. You know what, you guys have a lovely Women's Month. You don't have to do anything for the upcoming month. You can just sit down, watch TV with us, wake up at 10, sleep at 12 at night, just relax. You guys can start working again hard next month. But without wasting any further time, let's look up what's coming up on the coolest YouTube channel. Trouble in the GNU as the DA Democratic Alliance take the President Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa to court. And well, in Durban recently, it was a battle of the MKs, the battle of Umkhonto weSizwe, as the ANC keeps on fighting for the name Umkhonto weSizwe. And by the way, what makes you South African? What makes us South African? We should always ask these questions before we start joining competitions like Miss South Africa. Don't miss out. Well, cracks just might be beginning to show within the GNU, the Government of National Unity. I mean, the DA has taken Cyril Ramaphosa to court. I mean, they've taken the president, Matamela Cyril Ramaphosa, to court. And I mean, this is strange because this comes after like in a month with Cyril being the president and they take him to court. Well, this comes after the State of the Nation address Cyril had the 26th of May, just before the elections. Remember that one? They claimed that the reason Cyril had the State of the Nation address, he was trying to persuade the viewers back home to vote for the ANC. They say basically was campaigning, and according to the laws, it was not illegal, meaning Cyril Matamela Ramaphosa was not allowed to do that according to them. But also very interesting, that thing one should state is that you can't really tell a president when he should actually address the nation. I mean, that's also very interesting. But the biggest thing within this story is that the DA actually went as far as saying within the application to court that they must take 1% from the ANC. I mean, the ANC is like 39.40% when you run off, but it's like 39 point something, meaning they want the ANC like to lose 1% of the overall, which it helps when it comes to the seats in parliament. But my question is, where does the other 1% go? Does it go to the DA and also how sure are you that the State of the Nation address was able to persuade like 1% of people to vote for the ANC? I mean, that's very interesting. Who owns the MK? Who owns Umkhonto weSizwe? Is it the ANC? Is it Umkhonto weSizwe of Jacob Zuma? I mean, who owns the MK? Because it has been a battle of the MKs of Umkhonto weSizwe currently in Durban High Court, because the ANC has actually appealed and said, you know what, we own the MK, we own the name Umkhonto weSizwe, it's ours. And the MK of Jacob Zuma, Jay-Z, they've actually said, oh, no, you don't own Umkhonto weSizwe, or rather, you have your own Umkhonto weSizwe 50 years back, but there's a vast difference between the ANC and the Umkhonto weSizwe, because what ANC are actually saying is that the reason why people voted for the MK is because they thought the MK was the ANC. I mean, do you think that there's a resemblance between the two flags? But also, most importantly, do you think it is enough to persuade people to vote for the MK? Because honest opinion, I don't think people will vote for the MK just because they think it's the ANC, because I think that the Umkhonto weSizwe of the ANC, which played a very pivotal role in the history of this country, but I don't think it has familiarized itself with the modern day people, and a lot of people now don't even know, or rather didn't even know how the ANC's MK logo looked like until now. I mean, so I don't think really people would vote for the MK because they thought the MK was the ANC. But it's very interesting how they put it out. And what do you think? Please like and subscribe. Do you think people actually voted for the MK because they thought the MK was ANC? Now, what makes you South African? What makes me South African? What makes someone to be seen or identified as a South African? No, the reason why I'm asking this question is because of the Miss South Africa competition. I think everyone's pretty much aware with about it, the incidents of the 23-year-old Miss Adeshima. By the way, she was born in Soweto, guys. She was born in Soweto. She's currently living in Cape Town, and yes, her parents might not be South African, but she has a South African citizenship. Like literally, she's registered. She has, not an ID book. No. She has a card, ID card. Smart card that, yeah, she's a South African citizen. But it has been quite interesting. I mean, how do we represent? How do we? What's the connotation behind this thing? I mean, also, I mean, when you have people like the Minister of Sports, Clayton McKenzie, he came out and said, "Well, Nigerians can't compete in a South African competition," which she's a South African citizen. I understand Nigerians can't, but she is a South African citizen and she has lived there her whole life. Although you don't become South African just because you've lived there your whole life. You don't become South African because your parents lived there. If your parents are like from outside, like overseas or whatever country, and they come over and you were born in South Africa, you're still not a South African. Like, you don't become South African because of that. Her mother, by the way, a stepmother, is Zulu, by the way, Miss Adeshima. So she is a South African, in my opinion. She has a South African ID. I mean, I would like to believe when you have a South African smart card, it means you are a South African. However, I think that we're also unfair, guys, because when that guy, Beast Mtawarir Tandai, was represented the Springboks, helped us win the Tri Nations a few times, won the 2019 World Cup. No one was saying anything about it, that he's taking a position of a position of another player who could have played there. So in that sense, I think it's a very much interesting debate. But what do you think? Do you think she's South African? Is she allowed to compete? Please like and subscribe. And until next time, we say love and peace, folks.